Well, good day to all of you lords and ladies of the manor. Welcome back to Rudy in the Mix. So if you can recall from our previous episodes, we find ourselves in an agriculturally rich region, and we also have a very rich iron deposit. So in the previous episodes, we spent some time harvesting all of those resources and trading it away for quite a bit of coin. As things now stand, you can see in our regional wealth that we finally managed to reach that 2,000 target. That was the idea with the previous episode, but unfortunately we didn't quite make it. Just as I ended the video, it actually turned over to 2,000. I think we ended on 1,950 or something like that. We were very close, but unfortunately we didn't make it. But as luck would have it, there we go. We've got it in the bank now, and we are ready to proceed. So if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, please go and do so. I will link them in the top right of the screen now. And then today we'll be starting to focus on a few new things. So of course, ladies and gents, we do need to drastically grow our population so that we can have permanent employees of the farmhouses over here. You see that at the moment we are removing them from the iron industry. Obviously, that's taking away valuable resources from us. We need to extract this together with our crops so that we can keep the economy strong. But I think we're doing good at the moment. What we need to do, however, is to start building our manor so that we can start taxing the citizens. So let's go ahead and see what we need for that. Let's jump into the construction tab here. And you see that for a manor, we have all the required goods in stock. And what I want to do is try and build it with a bit of a view over our settlement. So I was thinking right about here is where I'm going to do that. And I think also the angle that we've got it at currently is probably what I want to stick with. So we'll start with the manor over there and then also look at the garrison tower. Looks like we have enough to add that as well, so that we can start building our retinue. We need to strengthen our military. I'm just going to commit to this so that they can start the building process. It's going to take a while with only one unassigned family though. But yes, like I wanted to say, we need to strengthen our military so that we can go and have a look at what our opponents are up to. So they've already claimed a second region. I'm not too worried about that. And I've also seen the AI doesn't really progress any further than this at the current stage. I've never seen them actually start settling a different region. They do claim it, but I don't see them building there. So I'm not too worried. Like I said, we've been focused on the economy more than anything else in this series. But things are going to start changing today. I also want to try and claim some more regions and start to build up our fighting forces so that we can think about attacking our enemies. So as you can see, it also looks like harvest has been completed for this season. Our settlers will now go ahead and get the crop in the ground for the next year, and it looks like everything is good and set up over here, so we don't need to pay as much attention to the farming anymore. Like I said, we'll need to focus on building our manor. You see that there's already some construction materials that has been brought over, and they'll get started on the building of that quite soon. I just want to add them a little road at least. And I want to take it right to the front of the manor over there so that we can also build our walls around it. And then while we wait for the manor to be constructed, I'm also going to start building some additional burgage plots. We are at a place where we can welcome new families into our settlement. You can see there that we've got about 10 months of food supply and 16 months of fuel. Fuel isn't the issue, it's always food in the early game. But we are not really in the early game anymore, I would say mid-game rather. But we've got a few vegetable gardens going. We've got some nice orchards built over here that'll start bringing in fruit to our village. Let's see if we can Okay, I wanted to see if there was a fisherman that I can remove, but it doesn't seem so. I've already done that. Also want to go ahead and just look at our stables here. You see there's space for an additional ox. But what I want to do is have a look at the livestock in the trading post. So we've got 4 horses. And that is all we need at the moment. So we can go ahead and order ourselves another ox. So we've got a lot of stable space available. I remember that I did build some additional stables in the previous episode. What I also want to do is just some fine tuning. You see that we've got 419 charcoal. No one on the charcoal kiln at the moment. And on the woodcutter's lodge as well. So we'll need to keep an eye on the fuel. It's looking good for now, but it will start coming down. As soon as the planting has been completed of all of our fields, we'll have a lot of families available again to reassign to different spots. Military wise, we've got 3 units currently. Spearmen, longbowmen you can say, or a warbow as they call it in the game, and then obviously crossbow militia. They just call this archer militia, I see, but anyway, crossbow militia. So we've got 3 groups of people set up. What I also want to do is add another foot unit, seeing that we've got 2 archer units already, but you'll see that we have some recruits missing. So that's why I decided to build some more Burgage plots as well. We need to start growing our population in order for us to have a large enough military. And then if we head over to the blacksmith, I will be starting to produce sidearms for our own personal use as well. Either that or another spearman militia. But I think it's good to diversify, so probably we'll stick with sidearms. At the moment, we are exporting all of our sidearms. So I think what I'm going to do is to just make an adjustment over here on the trading post and say that we want 36 sidearms in our storage before they start exporting the rest of it. That's enough to build up a unit. And then we also need to make sure that we've got a joiner shop built so that we can create some small shields, because that's another thing that will be needed by our sidearm militia. So we'll go ahead and construct a joiner shop. I hope I haven't done that already. Blacksmith, brewery, bowyer's shop, tailor's shop, and then an armorer's shop. So what we can also look at, you see at the bottom there when I hover over each unit that they are starting to procure some helmets for themselves, but they don't really have enough for everyone. So what I want to do is just go to the armor shop. He is currently making helmets, and I think what we'll do is we'll just put a surplus in of 36 as well. So that means that even if all of these units die, there will still be 36 helmets in storage, so that we can immediately gather a new militia unit, and there will be enough for that whole unit. So I like to go with 36 for military equipment to have that in surplus. Let's see what we did here. Okay, so on these Burgage plots, we haven't really added anything yet. I wonder if we shouldn't go for something like an apiary, because they will, as I have it, if I'm not mistaken, they will also help increase your yields on your farms. Resources stolen by the nearby bandits. We need to get them taken care of as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and add the apiaries here. Obviously, they still need to do a lot of threshing as well, so that we can get the grain out of last year's crop. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great year because we were stricken by drought. Now we need another unassigned family, which we do not have at the moment, and I think that'll be because I just built the joiner shop over there. So I removed a family permanently from the rest of the workforce. They'll be spending their entire lives focusing on that specific action over there. So I will be removing a family from each farmhouse, and there you go. Now we have an additional family. I wonder why we needed two. It's probably because that one has an extension. So both the families in this unit, this Burgage Plot, will now be joiners for the rest of their miserable lives. But yeah, we definitely need to get in some additional families so that we can just start growing our population and have a better workforce. That'll be our main focus for now. Okay guys, so now that all of the threshing have been done, let's go ahead and look at our crops there. We've got about 17 wheat grain and 21 rye grain, which is not a lot. We had a really bad harvest last year. So I want to go ahead and just do a few changes here on the trade post. You see we have rye bread at 10. I'm going to say we need 30 of that. And then also the wheat bread. So we'll keep bread for ourselves, for our own consumption. That is the two things that we are exporting under the food tab here. And then cabbages we are also exporting. I think I will leave it at 50. 50 is not too bad. And then we also have a lot of beetroot and carrots, so we'll keep exporting the cabbages. Another thing that I want to look at is our ale. I'm going to say that we also want to keep about 30 ale in surplus before we export, because I want to start adding a family to the tavern to start and look at some of our needs for our villages. You can see that we've got quite a good approval rating. That will go down as soon as we start taxing them. But if we just look at our Burgage Plots over here, they've got beverage, they've got everything they need actually to level up. We only require planks. But anyway, we need to keep beverage in town as well, so that everyone has that availability. I can almost promise you that it's not going to be everyone that is happy. Those are still level 1 Burgage Plots. Let's have a look at these artisans that we've leveled up. You see, they still require beverage. But we have added a family to the small tavern over here now. So pretty soon, everyone in our town will have something to drink. We have also been neglecting our timber industry a bit. So I'll add 2 families to the logging camp. Let's have a look. Yes, we've got 5 timber. We've got someone on the sawmill, but they will only start producing planks if we reach 10 timber or more. So that's good. We have no planks available at this stage. So we'll get them working on acquiring some wood for us again as well. And then we are preparing for winter. It's almost winter time. Alright, so now that it is winter, you can see that we've got no more grains left. Everything has been turned into flour, and then from there on to bread. So we have removed families from the communal oven and the windmill. We are also, well, we have removed the forester's hut families as well. So we've got about 10 unassigned families. That's quite a lot, which means that we can get back into the iron industry a bit. So I will be filling up our iron mine over here. And then let's quickly have a look at what we have. We've already got about 700 iron ore, so that's good. We've got 2 people in the bloomery, so they will continue manufacturing iron slabs for us. And then how are we looking for tools? We've got 10 at the moment. I think I will be adding 2 families to the smithy again, so that they can just continue manufacturing those tools for us. And then we'll have a quick look at the trading post as well. I know that we are trading quite a few things away. You see that tools are one of them. So we said we require 10 tools in surplus for our own village. So that's also good. We'll leave that as is. And then we can start exporting those tools again. Let's have a look at what we have accumulated thus far. So you can see that we've got 38 sidearms and 34 small shields, which means that we are almost ready. We can go ahead and do that now and add some militia footmen. So we do not have enough recruits. That is the main problem, but we did construct some Burgage Plots. I will be building some more. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's have a look at our timber there. Seems like we do have enough. So I want to construct some more vegetable gardens over here. So I just want to ensure that this is long enough. And then we will be creating 3 Burgage Plots, each with an extension, and then we can do more vegetables to keep ourselves fed and also gain a few extra families into our settlement so that we can grow that militia. Now that it is winter time, I'm going to go ahead and call on our troops to take care of a bandit camp that is here to the west of us. And that is the only one on the map at this stage, but they are constantly stealing some of our supplies. And during the winter, when it's a bit more quiet, we can just as well go ahead and call up our troops. I'm not going to take all of them. I want to take the crossbowmen, because they'll make quick work of any enemy. And then as well as our newly formed footman militia, and we'll just rally them right over here. Alright guys, so all of our troops have been assembled, and now we will start marching towards the enemy. Alright, so the enemy has spotted us and they are approaching, so I think we will just let them form up over here, and then we will lie in wait.
Yes, sire.
Yes, I think I want to spread out these, I want to go ahead and spread out these crossbowmen in a single line, and then we'll do like a small double row with the footmen. I know that they are not as strong as the spearmen are, according to my experience anyway. Because they can't form a shield wall, but we'll let them stand their ground. And you can see that the crossbowman has already started firing at these guys. One down already. And of course I need to tell my footmen that they can now... I think I'm going to leave them balanced. Already broken. Can you believe it? You guys haven't even tasted battle. You should thank your brothers with their crossbows over there. I mean, I know that all of you have seen this before. Taking down a bandit camp isn't really something new in Manor Lords, but it's part of the game. This is the only thing that I've seen lately that I don't like. There we go. They don't always want to go for that bandit camp immediately. So I will be sending the spoils to the treasury. I believe that our economy is now strong enough so that we don't have to take the few coin that we get from the bandit camps for the regional wealth anymore. And on that note, the manor has also been constructed, and you'll see that we've got our retinue over there. So let's go ahead and jump into that and open up the castle planner and see what we need to start construction of walls. I know that we will be needing a bunch of timber for this, obviously. We've only got 15 at the moment, so I want to tell my friend here at the saw pit to... I think we need about 100 planks. We'll leave 100 as a limit, not 10, 100. So that we've got enough planks to build whatever we need, and then he'll get started once we've got 10 timber. And we do have 2 people on the logging camp. let's go ahead and give them a permanent livestock assignment. We do have enough oxen to be able to do that. We'll also give the guy at the saw pit his own ox. So we'll go ahead and start construction on... Let's see, I want to start construction on some more hitching posts. Let's do 2 for now. That'll be an additional 4 oxen, so that's pretty good. And our mining industry is doing good. So let's see, we've got 3 burgage plots constructed over here as well. We've got 6 unassigned families. That's actually what we need. We need a few more unassigned workers so that they can get things done a bit quicker. So we'll build extensions there as well, and then turn these into vegetable gardens as I've previously stated. Let's go back into the manor here and see what we need for walls. Okay, so we don't even have enough goods to build our first front-facing wall yet. So I'm just going to leave that for now and let them gather the resources that we need. Of course, we need to start taxing our citizens as well. That is actually something that I've forgotten about. But we'll put a 10% land tax on. What the tithe is concerned, we've got 8 months of fuel supply in the dead of winter. Not fuel supply, that'll be food. So I presume that if we have that many food in winter, we are probably good as a settlement. So I'll be adding a 5% tithe to that for some influence. We've already got 3,200, so we'll be claiming our second region in this video still. And there we go, spring has arrived. We are now in March. What we are going to do next is 2 things before we end off this episode. So the first thing will be claiming another region. So if we just zoom out on the map here, you'll see that one of our neighboring regions right here has a rich stone deposit. I do need that so that we can start considering stone walls for our manor, and also a rich clay deposit. So economically, this region will do good, and that is why I have decided to claim it. And then the other thing that we need to do, we'll see if our enemy or rival here decides to retaliate, but I actually doubt it. Then the other thing that I want to do is just take care of another bandit camp over there. The reason is they are stealing resources, not much, but still. This time though, I have decided not to use our own military units. I want to hire mercenaries. So let's just see what this is. Now is the name of this region, so let's see if there's anything that'll spawn close by. And right there we've got a unit that will spawn in that exact location. So let's go ahead and get them right on the bandit's doorstep. Actually a bit excessive. Quite a big unit of mercenaries. But nevertheless, we'll have these guys form up here. I don't like fighting inside the forest.
Forward!
And you run to position, and you run to position. And then again, we will make quick work of these guys. You go ahead and form up right here. And you can start engaging them. This is gonna be a walk in the park, ladies and gents. Already broken. How easy was that? So might be a bit of a waste of money, but let's go ahead and see what we get from this bandit camp. So we have 830 in the treasury right now. Let's send this to the treasury as well. 96. So it's basically the same amount that we paid for these mercenaries. We'll disband them. So that was for free, and we stopped the bandits from stealing all of our resources basically. And then we're just pressing a claim towards this region. In the next episode, we will be focusing on settling your second region, basically starting over from scratch again. So you can see that we've got a nice piece of empty land available here, and that is what we will be focusing on in the next episode. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you find any value in the content that I bring you guys, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out a lot. So that's gonna be it from my side, everyone. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, cheers.